everyone, this is Karen. Thanks for joining today. Today we're going to move through a dynamic flow that is more focused on the third chakra. So last week we talked about the second chakra, and now we're moving into the fiery element of the third. So the third chakra is our activating center. It's the ignition center of our energy. It's what's motivating us to get into action and to manifest the things into our life that we can envision, the things that we can intend for ourselves. So the challenge around the third chakra is how to heat things up, how to get energized without overdoing it, without getting burned out in the process. So with that being said, let's start our practice seated with the hands down on the knees, finding a nice tall spine, finding nice length through the back. And let's start just by placing our hands on our navel area. This is the area of the third chakra in the body. And place one hand and one hand on top. And let's take a couple of full, complete breaths here, filling up through the navel. So either with eyes open or eyes closed. Take a big inhale breath. See if you can fill up your whole torso as wide as you can, top to bottom, front to back. And then with your exhale, gently pull the belly in. See if you can expel all the air out of the body, out of the lungs. Take another big breath in. Filling up, you might already start to feel some heat generating in the belly here. And exhaling to release. And you can let that exhale out of the mouth if you like with a sigh. Taking another big inhale in. And letting the breath out. Good, let's take one more big breath. Feel yourself expand from top to bottom, side to side, across through the diagonal. Biggest breath yet so far today. And then exhale either out of the mouth or just pulling the belly in to expel all of that stale air. Good. And release the hands down. And just sit with that for a moment. Good. And let's rock around through the hips a couple times here. So rocking around through the hips in one direction to start. Just getting loose with the arms. We do this a lot to just get things moving in the hips and in the second chakra area. And circling around for a moment, feeling that movement being ignited, and you can change directions. And there's really no right way to do this. Just let yourself be guided intuitively as you're warming up a bit through the hips and the low back. Let it feel good. Let your body start to feel some intuitive movement here as we prepare to heat the body up a bit in our practice. So come back to center. And this time we're going to engage in a breath called couple body breath, which is a breath of fire, which is a heating fire, and it involves pulling the belly back towards the spine as you exhale. So the inhales happen automatically. You can do this out of the mouth, or you can keep your mouth closed. Either way, you're going to pull the belly in as you shoot the air out of the mouth. So either out of the mouth, or you can keep the mouth closed and breathe out more through the nose. And either way is fine, so you can experiment with it a little bit. We're going to do this breath by bringing the arms up and just curling the fingers in, so your thumbs are up. Your hands here are extended at about a 45-degree angle. Really feel your sits bones pressing down into the ground, so you feel that wide base of the sits bones. Take a breath in to start. Exhale all of the air. Take just a little bit of breath in, and we'll start. Good, and either out of the mouth or out of the nose. Either way, you're pulling the belly back to the spine, starting to feel some heat igniting in the belly. You're pulling the belly back to the spine. A few more. And release the hands down. Good. And just sit with that for a minute. You might feel a lot of energy that you've just increased in your body. Maybe even close the eyes, feel the effect of the breath. Take a couple of deep breaths. Good, and then let's make our way onto hands and knees. So bringing yourself so that your wrists are underneath your shoulders and your knees are underneath your hips. Feel a nice long spine to start, so your neutral spine from your tailbone all the way through the crown of the head. And breathe all the air out here. And then as you inhale, arch slightly through the spine, start to look up. And exhale, pull your belly in, round the spine. Taking a few rounds here of cat-cow to warm up through the spine, inhaling to arch, and exhaling to round the spine, pressing away with the hands, pulling the belly back into the spine, and then inhaling to arch again. So take a few at your own pace here. Start to find a nice rhythm to the breath, feel the cadence of the breath, and feel that nice, long, deep, slow rhythm to your breath. Take a couple more, inhaling to arch. Exhale to round. Inhale, one more to arch. Exhale to round. And then come back to a neutral spine. Good, and what we're going to do here is place it, keeping the hands right where they are, keeping your neutral spine. We're going to lift the knees up off the floor. It's going to ignite through the belly, ignite through the core. So pull the belly in to start, and then start to round the spine just a little bit, drawing the abs back towards the spine, feeling that heat generating through the core. Stay with it. Take a couple breaths here. Continue to round the spine, belly in. Feel that heat center ignite in the body. Stay with it. Good, and release. Knees back down. Nice job. We're going to come up into downward facing dog. So let's take a nice wide downward facing dog. Lift the hips up towards the sky. Bring the feet so that they're wide, so maybe just the big toes are on the mat. And take a couple of long, slow, deep breaths here. And bend the knees as much as you need to. So your thighs moving back in the direction of your chest here. Chest and thighs moving towards each other. And then maybe starting to walk the heels down one at a time. Maybe moving the heels side to side a couple of times. Or if you'd like to stay with stillness, just take a couple of long breaths here, starting to press the heels down towards the ground, feeling the whole backside of the body lengthening. And perhaps making that breath nice and audible in the throat. Ujjayi breath, that's also a heat-producing breath. And then step the feet so that they're more hip-width apart on your mat. Press the heels down towards the ground. We're going to gonna rock forward into our plank. Take a breath here. And then exhale back to down dog. Inhale, come forward into plank. Exhale the air out. Take another deep breath. And exhale, downward facing dog. One more, inhale. Come forward into your plank. Exhale completely. Inhale. And push back, downward facing dog. Good, and look forward. We're just gonna walk the feet forward, coming towards the top of the mat. Let yourself hang down from a weight here. Grab for the elbows. We rock side to side a couple times. Release through your neck. Just let yourself melt forward onto the legs, lengthening through the back body. And then release the hands, pull the belly in, really root through the feet. And we're gonna sweep the arms up, inhale. Exhale, relax the arms down. Good, take a breath, standing here. Feel the grounding presence of your feet down through the ground. Shoulders right over your hips. And inhale, bring the arms up overhead. Exhale, bend the knees as much as you need to swan dive all the way down. Relax head, relax neck. Inhale, halfway lift the spine, either hands on the ground, hands to shin, or hands to thighs. And exhale, release. Good, root the feet. Inhale, bring the arms up. And exhale, release the arms down. Very nice. Bring your hands to your hips. Take a big step back with your right foot. Bring that foot at about a 45-degree angle. Bend the left knee. Sweep the arms out to warrior two. Bring the back foot in about 45 degrees and really anchor down through that right leg, that right foot. Arms out, shoulders relax, gazing out over your left fingertips. Take a deep breath. With your exhale, maybe sinking deeper down into the hips. Another deep breath, inhale. And exhale. See that vision out over your fingertips on the horizon, the actions that you need to take to ignite that vision. And release, straighten the leg. Turn both toes in. Bring your hands to your hips. Take a big inhale, lengthen. Exhale, pull the belly in and come all the way down, nice flat back. Bring the hands down to the ground here. Inhale, lengthen again through the spine. And exhale. Start to release the forehead down towards the ground. Inhale, lengthen. Pull the belly in, exhale, soften down towards the ground. Inhale, lengthen. And exhale, soften down towards the ground. Good, bring the hands back to the hips. Inhale, slowly come back up. And bring your right toes out and your left foot in. Inhale, sweep the arms out to the side like in a T. Take a deep breath. And exhale, bend the right knee, sit down, warrior two. And make sure your torso is staying straight in the center so you're not leaning out over that right leg. Feeling the center line of your body here. And then gaze out over your right fingertips. Take a deep breath, inhale. Maybe exhale, sinking down deeper, aiming for that straight parallel thigh with the ground. Do your best here, just feeling that heat igniting, pulling the belly in. And if you like, looking out over the fingertips and just imagining those big visions, those big goals that you have for yourself. Igniting your will and your energy and your courage to move forward towards those goals. Feel your strength. Feel your perseverance. Take one more deep breath. Good, straighten the right leg. Turn the toes in, bring your hands back to your hips. Take 3 little hops, bringing the feet back together. 1, 2, 3, and then come up to the top of the mat. Relax your arms down by your side, ground down, feel the grounding of your feet. Inhale, bring the arms up overhead. Exhale, fold forward, bend the knees, soften and release. Inhale, halfway lift. You can keep the knees bent here, just lengthening out the spine. Exhale. And fold, release your head, neck down. Step your right foot all the way back, coming into a low lunge. Drop the right knee, drop the top of the right foot. As you're ready, get stabilized, and then inhale, bring the arms up overhead. If that doesn't feel stable, you can keep hands to heart center or hands to your hips. I'm going to square off through the hips here by pressing your back shin down into the ground and hugging everything into center. Imagine hugging your inner thighs in together, and keep the 2 hips square. If the arms are up, I'm going to take a slight even back bend here, gazing up towards the sky. Follow the breath. And then use your left hand, grab a hold of your right wrist, and take a side stretch over to the left, feeling that stretch all the way through the right side of your body. Deep breath. Another deep breath. Good. And taking your hands forward on the diagonal, bringing them towards the left front corner of the rim of your mat. Nice and slow, and then all the way down to the ground again, hands down. Tuck the back toes, downward facing dog. Deep breath. Press your right foot into the floor. Lift your left leg up towards the sky. Bend the left knee. Stack through the hips. Take a big breath. And exhale, bring knee to nose. Rolling forward. Inhale, lift the leg. This is too much. You can always stay in your downward facing dog. Otherwise, inhaling, lengthening through the leg. Exhale, knee to nose. One more, inhale. Exhale, knee to nose. This time, step forward in between your hands. And we'll take our easy twist, keeping the right hand on the ground. And lift, stretch your left arm up towards the sky. You can always come back onto the back knee if you like here. And again, really pulling in through the belly, keeping the core engaged, generating that inward heat in the body. Staying curious about the breath, maintaining that nice rhythm to your breath in and out. Good. And release, bring the hand down. Step your right foot forward to the left. Hang down, soften, relax. Root the feet, inhale. Sweep the arms up overhead. Get tall, lengthen up, pull the ribs in, and exhale. Release the arms down by your side. Take a full breath here. Grounding down through the feet. Feeling that inner fire. Keeping that fire contained by staying in control of your breath. And inhale, bring the arms up overhead. Exhale, swan dive, bend the knees. Release your head down towards the ground. Relax, soften through the neck. Step your left foot back, low lunge. Back knee, back foot down into the ground. Press your shin down into the ground. Keep the hips square, stabilize, and find your arm position here. And breathe. Really hugging everything into the core, squeezing through the inner thighs, keeping the ribs contained here so you're not splayed open. Feeling that containment of the energy and the power in the rib cage. And if you like now, you can slightly create that back bend through the spine. Staying curious about the breath. And coming back up. Take your right hand, grab a hold of your left wrist, and stretch over to the left, or to the right. Feeling that nice stretch through the left side of the body. Breathing in, and breathing out. Taking the arms forward at a diagonal, nice and slow. On the exhale. And then bringing the hands down to the ground. Coming onto the back ball of your foot. Come back, downward facing dog. Take a deep breath here. If you ever need to come into a child's pose to rest, come into child's pose. Otherwise, taking downward dog as a resting position. Coming back to nice rhythm and flow of the breath. Plant your left foot, stretch your right foot back and up. Point the toe and then bend the knee, flex the foot and stack the hips. Feel free to stay in your downward facing dog or come back to it. Otherwise, pointing the toes, stretching the right leg up. Exhale, then knee to nose, coming forward. Inhale, stretching up through the toes. Exhale, knee to nose. Inhale, stretching up. Make your breath audible here. Pull the belly in towards the spine. With your exhale, inhale. Exhale. One more, inhale. And step it through. Good. Easy twist. Keeping the left hand on the ground. Inhale. Stretch your right arm up. And really press into the back foot. So you're pressing away through the foot. Stretching away through your fingertips. Really feel all those lines of energy activating in the body. Igniting heat in the body. And release. Good. Bring the hand down. And step the foot forward. Relax your head, neck. Inhale, sweep the arms up. And release the arms down. Very nice. Take a couple breaths here. Grounded presence down through the feet. Maybe hand to belly for a moment. Feel that inner fire. Shoulders relaxed. Feel the breath. make sure the feet are hip width distance apart here. And moving into chair pose here. So bending the knees, inhale, sweep the arms up overhead so that the arms are with the ears. Pull the belly in. Start to work the hips down, belly in. Really feeling the core engage here. Pulling the belly back to spine. Sitting lower than you want to go here, arms with ears. Take one more big breath. Good. Bring the hands to the hips. Come up. Exhale. And step your right foot all the way back, coming into high lunge here. Really situate down through the feet, press down through the back ball of your foot. So right foot active, right leg active here, keeping the hips square. And then inhale and stretch the arms up overhead. Deep breath. Feeling the lines of energy up through the hands, belly in, core engaged, pressing through the back foot. Stay with breath. Use your left hand, grab your right wrist, stretch up and over, creating a nice side stretch through the right side of the body. If you need to, you can always take the variation of coming down onto your back knee. Good, release the side stretch. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, let's take our twist. So the right arm forward, left arm back. Feeling the arms stretch apart, feeling the core, that center of the action, pressing through both feet. Deep breath. Hold and maintain. And release. Bring the hands down. Step the foot back, downward facing dog. Take a couple of long, slow breaths here. If you need to, come into child's pose. And then walk your hands, this time backwards towards your feet. Bring the feet heel to them close together. So the heels and toes close, touching. Inhale, sweep the arms up overhead. Exhale, bring the hands down through your heart center. Take another big inhale. Exhale, sit lower. One more inhale. And then take your twist, bring your right elbow to the outside of the left knee and twist. Stay with it, feel that fire, keep the belly pulled in tight, keep breathing, nice, slow, even breaths. Good, and release, bring the hands down, straighten the legs, relax your head, neck. And keep some bend in the knees. Just release that pressure, relax through your head and neck. Walk the feet again so that they're more hip width distance apart. Walk the hands forward again. Downward facing dog. Inhale, come forward into plank. And then drop the hips, upward facing dog. Tops of the feet flat, draw the shoulders back, open up, stretch through the front of the body. Pull the belly in, lift the hips up, downward facing dog. Inhale, come forward, plank. We're going to hold plank here for a few breaths. If you need to, come down onto the knees. Otherwise, breathe. Find a point of focus for your eyes. Pull the belly back towards the spine, hollowing out through the belly. Stay with it a few more seconds. Good, and lift the hips up, downward facing dog. Good, breathe, deep breath here. And then look forward and just walk your hands, or walk your feet rather in towards your hands. And soften. Soften the body to the legs, soften through the head, neck, jaw. Inhale, sweep the arms up overhead. Exhale, release the arms down. And relax here, grounded presence down through the feet. Be closing the eyes. Feeling into the energy, the heat, the fire you're creating in your body. And letting it settle for a moment. And then making sure that your feet are again hip-width distance here. Inhale, start to drop the hips down and bring the arms up with your ears, chair pose. And breathe as you work your hips down. Inhale, lengthening through your spine. Exhale, pulling the belly up and back and in. One more deep breath. Good, and release, fold forward. Inhale, halfway lift the spine. Exhale, fold. And step your left foot all the way back. Taking our high lunge here. Ground through the feet, press back through the back foot, and inhale, bring the arms up. High lunge, belly in. Stay with it. Use your right hand, grab your left wrist. Stretch up and over. Feel that nice lateral stretch through the left side of the body. Be curious about your breath here. Keeping things under control. Backing off if you need to, so you're really containing that fire, that heat. Not overdoing. Inhale, release, stretch up. Exhale, send your right arm back, left arm forward. Stretch through the arms. So stretch your arms away. Stretch through the arms at the same time. Engage through both legs. Press your back foot into the floor. Same time, feel the fulcrum coming right from your belly here. Release the hands down. Nice work. Step your left foot, step your right foot back, downward facing dog. breaths. And then walk your hands back again towards your feet. Heel toe, feet together. Get a deep bend in the knees. Inhale, bring your arms up overhead. Exhale, bring your hands to your heart center. If this is too much, you can also open up the feet a little bit wider here for a little bit more stability. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, take your twist. And if this is too much, you can also just bring your arms out to the side, creating that same version of the twist we did earlier. So either way, find a position for you, feet together, or if you need to open up the feet a little bit more, pressing into the hands, breathing here. Good, and release. Relax your head down, open up the feet, and walk your hands forward. Very nice downward facing dog. Deep breath, work your heels down towards the mat. And inhale, come forward, plank. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, plank. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, come forward, plank. This time come down onto your elbows. Clasp your hands. If you need to, come down on the knees. Otherwise, stay put, pressing the feet into the mat, pressing away. Pull the belly in. Hollow out the low belly. Stay with it. Breathe, pull the belly to the spine. Feel your inner strength, feel your resolve here. Stay with it, a few more seconds. Good, and release. Knees down, send the hips back to the heels. Child's pose. Take a moment here. Open the knees if you'd like. And bring the elbows wide if you'd like. Find any position in child's pose that feels supportive for a moment to rest. Starting to let some of that heat cool and settle. Finding a nice balance for that energy, finding containment for that fire. And we want to burn with that energy, but not let that energy burn out of control. And igniting our energy to move forward, to take the next steps in our life, on our path. But also containing that power and energy so it's measured and contained and we're not burning ourselves out. And pressing up here, coming onto your knees, sitting back on the heels. Curl the toes up underneath you. So we're creating a nice stretch for the feet here, for the toes. You can either keep your hands out in front of you. It's a little bit less intense there. or start to walk your hands back, taking the hands off the floor and sitting back onto the feet. So really feeling that can be pretty intense there. Stretch through the toes, through the feet. We don't give enough attention to our feet and our toes here, so letting that stretch burn a little bit. Really engage through the inner thighs, pressing the thighs together, and keep that engagement through the core. And if you'd like to add a little challenge here, a little balance challenge, can come up and squeeze the knees together and bring the hands to prayer position. Squeezing the inner thighs, squeezing the knees together, finding the balance, shoulders stay down and relaxed. Find a gaze, find a point of focus, nice and steady. See if you can drop into stillness even as you're engaging all the muscles through the inner thighs, through the core. A few more seconds, breathing in, breathing out. And then release the hands. Come back into that stretch for the toes. Maybe bringing hands forward. And then releasing the feet. Maybe tapping the feet one at a time down on the ground. Good, and then crossing the legs just to bring yourself seated and extend your right leg out and your left foot in, so pressing your left foot to your right inner thigh, creating a 90-degree angle there in the legs. Inhale, bring the arms up over your head. Exhale, turn to the right and just fold over the right leg. Don't worry about how far you come down, just keep a nice flat back, folding forward over the leg. Keep the foot flexed for now, keep a nice long back, keep the belly pulled in tight. As you inhale, feel that length forward through the crown. And as you exhale, feel your sits bones rooting back and down into the mat. Take a few breaths here. And maybe with each exhale, feeling a bit of length growing through the spine. Back of the right leg stretching and lengthening. On your next exhale, relax. Relax your foot. Relax your head. Bring your forehead closer towards your knee. And wherever you find yourself, even if you're more sitting up, even if you've only come an inch or so, let yourself relax here. Let the head and neck soften. Feel yourself actively cooling down. Feel your body soften and surrender. So the other side of our effort, our energy, the other side of activating and igniting is the ability to surrender, to soften. Surrendering not in defeat, but surrendering to renew, to allow energy to circulate as we soften. And to allow the rest of the pose here. And on your next inhale, lengthen again through the spine. Pull the belly in to walk yourself out. Nice flat back. And let's switch sides. Left foot out, right foot in. Press your foot to your thigh, 90 degrees. Inhale, lengthen the arms up. Exhale, turn left and fold forward. Breathe with your inhales, lengthen. With your exhales, press your sits bones down on the ground. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, deepen, pull the belly in. And with your next exhale, soften. Soften the foot, soften the forehead, in towards the knee. And let the back round. And let go of all effort. And just surrender and rest for a moment. Good, inhale, lengthen again through the spine, pull the belly in and walk your hands back. And bring both legs out in front of you. Take a moment here, staff pose. Just use your hands behind you to sit up nice and tall, to lengthen your spine up. Feel the crown of the head reaching up towards the sky. Feel the nice length of the spine all the way down. Both sits bones pressing down into the ground. Find if you have some bend in the knees. Bend the knees if you need to. Pull the belly in. Still feel that nice length in your back. And inhale, bring the arms up overhead. And exhale, fold forward. And let the hands just land where they do. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, pull the belly in. Feel that length through the back body. Tailbone all the way through the crown of the head. Feel that the back is as long as you can be. Inhale, lengthen. On your next exhale, round the spine. Relax your head and neck. And let yourself rest, fold, release. Let the feet soften, let your jaw soften, let your whole body soften. And inhale, lengthen, pull the belly in. And exhale, walk your hands back to the hips. Bend the knees, place your feet on the ground. Stretch your arms forward. Pull in through your belly. And roll all the way down, nice and slow. Imagine you're coming down vertebrae by vertebrae. Until you're all the way down. And hug your right knee into your chest. And let your right knee just fall over to the left, taking a twist here. You can use your hand on your knee if you like for a little extra support. Find a position for your right arm, either at a diagonal or out to the side. You play around with it a little bit. Find the best position for you for your twist. Maybe gazing over the right shoulder to the right. And releasing the twist. And back to center. And switching legs, extend your right leg. And bring your left knee in. And guide your knee over to the right. And find a position for your left arm. Maybe gazing over the left. Just taking a nice, easy twist here. Letting the breath be long and smooth. And then releasing, coming back. Bringing both feet on the ground, arms out to a T. Just windshield wipering the knees back and forth a few times before we rest here in Savasana. We're taking any other stretch that you like or that you need before I let our body rest in Shavasana. As you're ready, extend your legs out in front of you. Your arms down by your side. And let your eyes close here, taking a moment to deeply rest. Feel the support of the ground underneath you. Perhaps placing the hands on the belly one last time, feeling in for that charge that you activated in practice today. Feeling that charge begin to settle. Maybe releasing the hands again, surrendering to gravity underneath you. And knowing that that inner strength and that inner resolve that activation and that ignition of your fire, your strength, your willpower is something always available for you to tune into, and trusting in your ability to balance that fire with the rest, the surrender, and the regeneration of stillness and rest. And so letting the feet completely relax, relaxing all 10 toes, relaxing the tops of the feet and the ankles, relaxing the lower legs up through the knees, up through the upper thighs. Relaxing through the hips, letting the hips soften all the way in through the sockets of the hips. Softening through the low belly and the low back. Relaxing through the whole torso and rib cage. Relaxing the shoulders deeply all the way into the sockets. And relaxing down through both arms, elbows, down through the wrists. And relaxing your hands, all 10 fingers. Maybe feeling some energy tingling in the palms of the hands. Relaxing through the neck and the shoulders. And letting the face relax through the jaw, cheeks, nose, softening the eyes and the forehead, softening the ears, softening all the way back through the back of the head, feeling settled on the ground underneath. Softening the crown of the head, feeling contained in the whole space of the body. Feel for a moment into the whole space of the body. Let your whole body relax. Take a big breath in. Let it fall out of your mouth. And then very gently turning over onto your right side. And just lying for a moment in a fetal position, relaxing your head on your arm. Taking a moment to gently transition yourself here. And then coming up to seated, pressing your hand into the floor to press yourself up. Taking a moment to close your practice in a seated, easy pose, finding length in your spine. And bringing your hands to your heart center. And taking a moment to tuck away any inner wisdom, any insight, anything that you learned today about yourself in your practice. Honoring yourself for that inner fire inside of you, your own ability to envision and to ignite yourself in the direction of that next step in your life, in your vision, in your goals. And closing our practice, honoring and acknowledging the light inside of each one of us. Namaste.